Hi, my name is Edward Louie. In this video, I'm going to answer some common questions that our clients ask us about property management. So if you're a self-managing landlord or you're thinking about buying an investment home, check out this video where we'll answer some common questions and we'll throw in a few random ones as well. Our company has operations both in Central Texas and Northern Virginia. Now this is an advantage for our clients because we give them the opportunity to geographically diversify their portfolio as it grows and still maintain the same level of consistency and quality with the same management company. So where do we work in? In Central Texas, we're located near the Austin region. We're licensed in Texas, but we focus in the Austin area. And in Austin, we're in Travis County and Williamson County, so just along the I-35 corridor, Georgetown, Round Rock, Austin, and we cover Travis and Williamson County. And we're also licensed in Virginia, Maryland, and DC. So in Virginia, the counties we operate in are primarily Fairfax County, Loudoun County, and Prince William County. In Maryland, we're in Montgomery County, and of course, we're in Washington, DC. So although we're located in two different regions and our support staff works remote, all of our property managers, our assistants, our walkthrough technicians, of course, our vendors, they're all local. They're all the local boots on the ground. And so we're always very accessible and available for our clients. Well, currently we're managing properties that as low as $800 a unit to over $8,000. So no matter what price range your property is, give us a call. I'm sure we can find a way to help you maximize the investment potential of your property. We are a full-service real estate brokerage and we specialize in property management. That means we help our clients buy, sell, invest, and manage real estate. Now, when our clients hire us to manage their rental home, we provide a turnkey solution and handle every aspect of the property management cycle so that they can have peace of mind with their investment. The three major functions that we perform for investors are leasing services, renewal services, and property management services. So I have three kids. Joshua is my oldest, and then Chloe is my middle, and Sabrina. Joshua, Chloe, and Sabrina. At the time of this video, Joshua just turned 16, Chloe is 14, and Sabrina is about to turn 13 this year. So I'm about to have three teenagers, and no gray hair, not that bad. Okay, leasing services. Now, when we take over a home for the first time, normally it's either vacant or the owner is living there for just the last month before they move out. So let's start here with leasing services. Leasing services are defined as the work it takes to prep the home for the market and put a good paying tenant in the property. That's leasing services. So the first step that we normally do is a walkthrough. We walk through the home and we give our recommendations to you, the owner, and we let you know, based off your budget, based off the time frame, the type of work that needs to be done. And we can help you with vendors so that you can do the work yourself, or we can even just take over that project and manage the project to get the home make ready and photo ready for the market. So when the home is ready, we do professional photography and we also do professional videography. We do a video walkthrough of the home. And we market that home in the most trafficked real estate websites out there so that we can get a tenant applicant. Now once that applicant comes in, we do the screening. We do background checks, criminal history, debt to income, rental history, employment history. We look at all that, but we also do a proprietary Mars Hill interview. And this interview is important because you don't want to just make a decision by looking at a piece of paper. You really want to get the context and talk to the person, and you get some good information. Oftentimes, it'll help you to not decline a person that could be really good. If there's debt and it's not due to buying a bunch of big screen TVs, but maybe due to some medical debt, some medical issues, then this still could be a very good tenant. Or just the other way around, it could prevent you from approving someone that you may not want to approve. So that interview is important. So once we do the interview and we make a recommendation to you as the owner, then we proceed to move forward with all the in-processing procedures like the pre-move-in walkthrough and the post-move-in walkthrough, just to ensure they have a good experience at move-in. Now we know this process works really well because we have an industry low eviction rate. In fact, our eviction rate is less than 0.1%, which means for every 1,000 leases that we do less than one eviction. In fact, in our entire company history, we've only done one eviction. So our leasing services also cover the other agent's fee. So if that tenant is represented by another agent, of course they have to get paid to bring a tenant to our home, and we pay them out of that fee as well. So the leasing services for the Texas region are 80% of 1 month's rent. For the Virginia, Maryland, DC region is 1 month's rent, 100% of 1 month's rent. And these leasing services are charged every time that we have to put a brand new tenant into the property. Well, what kind of question is that? I mean, don't you think you could have come up with anything more difficult? $155,325. Renewal services are defined as keeping the same tenant and simply renewing the lease instead of finding a new one and starting the process all over again. So towards the end of the lease term, 90 days out, we'll all get an automatic notification. The owner will get one, the tenant, and the property manager. And basically it's an automatic email from our system that says, hey, the lease is about to be up. What do you want to do? And at that point, we begin our discovery process of figuring out what we need to do if they want to renew. So there's 3 important pieces of information that we want to find out. One is, what's the condition of the home? So we take photography and update you with how the home looks like and how the tenant is taking care of it. The second piece of information is the rental history. Have the renters been paying on time? Have they been great to deal with? So the rental history and the experience with the renter. And the third is a market update. And that's a big thing that a lot of self-managing landlords overlook. You know, they say, well, I'm managing the home myself, I'm doing a great job. And oftentimes when I look at their rental rates, they're getting sometimes hundreds of dollars less than what they should be, which would pay for our services. And so making sure that the tenant understands the value of the property they're in is important, and keeping in step with the market, not gouging the tenant, but still being fair in the market price and increasing the rents accordingly is important. So we provide a market analysis. That's the third piece of information. So with those 3 pieces of information, we provide a recommendation to you whether to renew or not, and then we renegotiate that with the tenants. And we negotiate the terms with the tenant, extend them on a contract, and that is a renewal. So the cost for our renewal services are 30% of 1 month's rent. Favorite color? Well, blue, of course. Okay, property management services. Property management services are defined as the work it takes to manage your home month after month. Not just managing your home though, also managing the relationship with your resident. So a lot of management companies miss this, but managing the relationship with your resident is just as important as managing your home. Because by having a good relationship with the tenant, you're able to reduce your risk and increase your profitability. You'll have less risk of lawsuits. We have a 0% lawsuit. We've never been sued. And you increase your profit because a happy tenant is going to be more likely to take care of your property and more likely to stay and to renew and reduce your vacancy. So how do we manage this relationship? How do we make sure that we have a good relationship? There's 2 major ways. One is through the Mars Hill Partner Club. Now the Mars Hill Partner Club is a way we formalize the relationships with our vendors, our referral partners, our owners, but also for our residents. And it's a good way to be able to proactively communicate with our residents so we can stay top of mind. And when you're top of mind with the resident, they're more likely to be proactive when it comes to submitting work orders and not just forgetting that, hey, this is not their home. So if there's a problem, they're just way more likely to communicate with you. So our Mars Hill Partner Club helps with that. Also, we have a portal system. So we have portals for the owners and we have portals for the residents. For the owners, it's great because we're a 100% paperless company. So with our portals, we have our walkthrough reports, our walkthrough photos, our monthly statements, our vendor invoices, contracts, insurance. Everything is available to you as an owner on that portal 24 hours a day. We have a lot of clients who live overseas, military or State Department. They hire us, they never even met us. And so by having a transparent system and a transparent process like the portals, it's very helpful for them to have that peace of mind. So the owners have this portal system. that they can access anytime, but also the tenants do as well. The tenants can use this portal to communicate with us. There's two major functions for this portal for the tenants. They use this portal to interact with us in two major ways. The first way is through rent payments. So rent payments are submitted through the portal. It goes from the tenant's bank account to our bank account to your bank account. We don't collect a single check. So the money is very efficiently and very scalable, this system. It goes from their account to our account to your account. We don't have to worry about hearing excuses about, oh, my check got lost in the mail, or we don't have to worry about human entry errors, because as soon as they make that payment, the ledger is automatically populated, so there's no risk of human entry errors. So that's very efficient. And also work orders. So let's talk about work orders for a second. Work orders have to be paid through the portal. And that's very important because that creates an electronic paper trail for that work order, so it doesn't fall through the cracks. But what it also does, it creates an automatic notification to you as the owner. So that way you won't be surprised at the end of the month with, how come my rent is short? Well, you would have been notified that there was a work order and something was fixed that month. This is important. We get a lot of owners who switch over to us because they have a mistrust with their property management company due to all the work orders, because a lot of management companies charge a service fee for every work order they do. In fact, it's a profit center. It's one of their biggest profit centers is a work order. Hey, we have another work order, darn, but they get to make money from that. We don't make money from work orders. The cost of our management fee is paying for us to manage whether you have one work order a year or 20 work orders a year. That's our job. That's why you're paying us. So we don't make extra money on these work orders. So knowing that these work orders are generated from the tenant legitimately, and you get automatically notified, there's a paper trail, that's important. That creates a lot of trust with our owners. So work orders, we have to respond to those by noon the next business day. That's our internal goal, by noon the next business day. And our goal when we respond to these work orders are to marry up the tenant with the vendor and then close out that work order within 7 days. Now, every owner is required to maintain a $500 portfolio minimum on their account, which helps us to pay for those work orders ahead of time and get reimbursed that rent. Also, there's a $500 repair limit, that we have to stick with. So if it's under $500, just for the speed of response and keeping that tenant satisfied, we're going to just get it done as quickly as possible. If it's over $500, then we're going to wait to get your approval, unless it's time sensitive or an emergency. And any time sensitive or emergency work orders, they are defined in our landlord handbook, which you can review on our website. The cost for our property management services are 10% of 1 month's rent. So if we're not collecting rent, we're not getting paid a management fee. So every time we collect rent, we take 10% of that, and that covers the cost for managing that property for the time period that rent is paid. We get that question asked a lot. Why do we name our company Mars Hill? So let me give you a little backstory. In the Bible, there was a guy named Paul. And Paul loved to preach the gospel. And one day he went to Greece, and he went to this place called the Areopagus, and there was a lot of philosophers, a lot of Greek philosophers. And these Greek philosophers were polytheistic. So they had in this location idols for like all these different gods. Just in case they missed one, they even had ones that said, for the unknown God. And so when Paul went into this place surrounded by all these Greek philosophers, he said, hey, let me tell you about the unknown God. Let me make him known to you. So he proceeded to boldly proclaim his monotheistic faith in Jesus Christ and God. And so the translation of the Areopagus is Mars Hill. And so Mars Hill is a reminder of us to boldly proclaim the truth to our clients and proclaim the truth to the public. No matter what the pressures are, no matter what type of environment we're in, our goal is to always proclaim the truth to you. That's why we're called Mars Hill Realty Group. I'm glad you asked. Although we can't guarantee the success of your investment, we can guarantee that you'll have a successful property management experience. In fact, we have 5 guarantees, so you can check out those guarantees at the end of this video for more details.